That's Cat.
Once upon a time, I found myself on a sidewalk with a boy who had just told me he couldn't be with me because of the ghosts that haunted him. Midnight hour descending, when he kissed me anyway, somebody cued the pouring rain and we ran laughing to the nearest archway in our gothic fantasy set. You can't make this shit up. Once upon a time, I let a tall, kind Midwestern boy walk my wounded heart back to his room, where we listened to Frank Ocean and Frank Sinatra and drank chai tea out of Star Trek mugs before slow dancing under the Christmas tree lights. You can't make this shit up. Once upon a fucking time, late at night in a tropical city, I let a boy pull me by the arm, giddy wrap his arms around me, away from the din of the people, away from it all, just sit me down and tell me he needed me back. Tell me he was in. He was all in. And we could make each other happily ever after I came back to him. He said, everything is going to be all right. I said, this can't be happening. This can never be happening. This is happening on some lame rom-com, sappy teen movie. This is not happening in my life. There's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me because I wake up those next mornings refreshed by the perfectly good plot structure. The gleam in my eye is caused directly by the delivery of that plot twist. I'm pleased at how all the parts fit into a storyline when I write them down in my journal. You can't make this shit up unless I am kind of in my head, the way I light the scene or cut to the good parts or fade out. There's something wrong with me because I can never make it end the way it does in the movies. Or at least, that's never the end. So I pull myself together, I say, this is never going to happen again. Write the end in my journal as if I could will the future. I wash my hands of the drama and the high stakes, but before I know it, I am running down that dark alleyway again, looking for that rabbit hole. When I was younger, my mother would always ask me if I wanted to go to the golf course with her. And I would always say no, and she would always scold me because what are you going to do when you meet Prince Charming and he plays golf and you can't play with him? When I was younger, my mother would sit next to me at the orthodontist's office and joke about how she wanted them to line my teeth up in a perfect line like bright lights on a billboard to draw all of the men in. I wish she hadn't waited until college to tell me that I should want to be independent and live on my own. I wish I hadn't watched that Cinderella VCR so many damn times. I wish we had owned Mulan instead. I wish I had owned Astronaut Barbie instead of Wedding Barbie. I wish every single fucking chick lit book I read in middle school didn't end with a boy. I wish every single rom-com I watched with my friends in high school didn't end with a boy. I wish there wasn't something wrong with me. I just made a phone call at work to a different part of the building and fell in love with the person on the other end of the line. Our entire phone call romance narrative, beginning, middle, and end, played out in my head in the second before I hung up. There is definitely something wrong. Woo!